How many times have you started a workout plan and then failed? And how many different diets have you tried before giving up and reverting back to your old ways? Well, today I'm going to be sharing with you a little bit about the book No Sweat by Michelle Segar. And this is all book about how to motivate yourself to move even just a little bit and to make really small changes in your life that will benefit you for a lifetime. So if you want to hear more about that, a summary of this book, then stay tuned. If you're like me, I'm Cassandra, by the way. Welcome to my channel. And if you're anything like me, I have tried so many times to eat well, to exercise, and to stay on a constant and regular routine, and I failed so many times. And I decided that I was going to try to find some literature out there that would motivate me to be better, to be healthier. That's what this channel is all about, becoming better. And this is something that I want to be a little bit more focused on. So at the beginning, the book is separated into different sections. It's 4 different sections. And it's called, they refer to it as maps throughout the entire book. So to provide meaning, awareness, permission, and strategy. So those are the 4 sections of the book that I'm going to be talking about. Just a few statistics that it gives you in the beginning. And by the way, all the things, when I say research shows or statistics show or whatever, and sometimes you wonder, well, what kind of research is that? Is that actual good research, or is it like something you find on BuzzFeed or whatever? At the back of the book, she's got all of her research sources and articles and all the things that she's found to say these things, like statistics show, research show. So if you do want to go, I just checked out this book from the library. If you want to go check out this book from the library and check out some of those resources, then definitely that's something you can do because they're all listed in the book. So some statistics she starts the book off with are that most people drop out of physical activity programs that they start only 6 months after starting, which I thought was actually quite generous. I've never made it 6 months on a workout program, literally like a month max, working out, like 3 times a week, nothing major. So I actually thought that was pretty good. And it says, on contrast, 10 months after this program, majority of participants have increased their movement and exercise by 65%. So that's quite good. So in this book, the whole thing of it is, or the whole sort of backbone of it is, that everything counts. A 60-minute class isn't the only thing that counts as exercise. It's anything, housework, gardening, anything you're doing that you're moving around counts. And so just sitting less. That's the main goal that you're trying to do here. And at the end of the video, we're going to be setting some goals together and checking in with each other, and hopefully we can become better at moving around and exercising. And I'll say that in quotes because it's not really like typical exercise that you think about. So she says, if you're going to take anything from the book, the one basic instruction is that take any opportunity to move. And she lists some creative ways to do that you might not have thought of in one of these sections, I believe awareness, and so we'll be getting there soon. So we're going to start with motivation, which is the first section of the book. And it says, think of your body as something to be taken care of and not something to be fixed. So let's stop focusing on those weight loss goals, those, the image goals, and let's start focusing on good goals. And it talks a lot about what kind of goals that we should be setting. And it says, let's remember that logic doesn't motivate us as much as emotions do. So instant gratification is going to outweigh long-term benefits nearly every time. So that cookie that's right there in front of me is looking a lot better than 10 pounds I might lose down the road. You know what I'm saying? So that's something to keep in mind, that especially if you are a very emotional person. I know some people probably argue with that. Oh, I'm a logical person. But I think a lot of the time the instant gratification wins out. That's our society today. It's built on instant gratification. In the media, everything we see that's to tempt us to buy or to watch this or to do that is based on instant gratification. So it also, we know that it takes months to see exercise. The very first video I posted on this channel, which is like mega embarrassing, but I just wanted to get going with it, talked about how I was so shocked that it takes so long to see any results. I had no idea that it would take that long. And I haven't seen any results because I haven't stuck with anything, but I'm here to change that with you. So it takes so long. So sometimes when we get caught up in things, like our kids get sick, things come up at work, all sorts of things come up that can interfere with our regular exercise. We tend to stop, or we're not motivated to keep going when things come up and we feel like we failed, right? So also, she talks about willpower and that it depletes when we use it. So that's why sometimes, I know for me, like my mornings, I've got a schedule, I can go right up till, pretty much after nap time. And then all of a sudden, it's like things start to go. I'm like, fine, watch TV, fine, eat that snack, whatever. I'm just tired and I don't have as much willpower anymore for myself, and I'm talking more about like parenting my children, of sticking with that, consistency and things like that. I find it really difficult as the day goes on to keep being consistent. And so she says that those things, the willpower does deplete during the day. So it's not the most strategic system to rely on. So you have to, so the behavior change is what you desire. Sorry, I'm just got my nose up here, so that's why I'm continuing to look over here and stuff. So when things are framed as work, then we find it way harder to get them done. If something is a thing that we have to do, or we feel like we have to do, or it's hard work, then we are way less motivated to do it. So so when things are more fun, then you're often successful at them. So she talks a lot about, there's different activities in the book. They're called It's Your Move activities. And one of them, see the right, I'll just show you a little example. So as you're reading the book, you stop and do the It's Your Move activity. And so one of the activities is taking basically an inventory. She lists a whole bunch of possible movement exercises, and you pick out which ones are fun, like dancing, like yoga, like rollerblading, like whatever. And basically in a dream world, if it didn't matter how many calories you'd burn, how much, weight you'd lose, what would be fun to you? And so you just have to pick out those things. And then she encourages you to do those things, because doing those things for 5 minutes adds up and is better than nothing. I just want to say before I continue that this has really shaped my thinking on what exercise means and what it is, because I really did feel like if I couldn't do a 30-minute weightlifting video or workout at the gym, that I wasn't really exercising and nothing was going to happen anyway, because I could go out there for a walk, but I mean, how long would I have to do that before I'd see any results, and blah, blah, blah. And really I watched this YouTube video. I think I can link it below. I'll try to remember which one it was, but it was Amy Marion, I think her name is. But anyway, she's got 10 kids and she's a YouTuber. And she talked about her weight loss, that she lost 70 pounds in, I think, under a year. And talked about like repeatedly doing that with kids, with each addition of pregnancy weight, losing it again. And she just walked and did the elliptical and changed her diet, and over time saw results. And I thought, yeah, like you can see results by doing really simple things. I mean, she had a more structured thing than this book encourages, but like I said, if you have the willpower and the motivation to do that, good on you, but I don't. And so, it's really shaped my thinking by reading this book. So let's continue on, and I'll tell you a few more things about why. Yeah, if you have multiple goals, multiple motivations, then it actually is proven to decrease your motivation. So if all your goals are like, I'm going to lose 10 pounds and get a dress size 6 so that I can have more energy and I can, if you're focusing on too many things, then it just decreases your motivation. You need to have one simple focus. Like, I need to have more energy to play with my kids every day. And so I'm going to move and do this 5-minute dance with them. I'm going to get off the couch and walk around while I read this book, or whatever it is. You need to focus and have one reason, one thing at a time. We know in the scriptures it says line upon line, precept upon precept is how we learn and how we learn best. And this is true for this. It's just that focus. If we focus, then we will accomplish things, right? And I have such trouble with that. So let's move on to awareness. Awareness, okay? The first thing is that high-intensity workouts. People think, again, like I talked about, you need to do high-intensity workouts in order to lose weight and be happy and continue with exercise and have a good well-being, okay? High-intensity workouts actually are proven to decrease happiness, increase discomfort, decrease motivation to continue, and most stop after a little while. And so how much are you benefiting from this when you're doing your high-intensity workouts for a few weeks in the year? and then, rededicating the next New Year's Eve or whatever. You're not tired, you're not lazy, and count everything to make yourself feel successful. I'm jumping ahead of myself, but I need to right now because this is probably the thing that I got the most out of this book that I will remember. Is she talks about goal setting, and then that this is the kind of goal setting you need to do. It's like a sliding scale goal setting, and I've never heard this before. So say your goal is I want to exercise, which is what we're talking about. You go, okay, here is the least thing that I can do to accomplish that goal. Move 5 minutes today, okay? Or I can do my entire, hour workout. And if I start my workout and I only get 20 minutes done because my kids wake up, I'm here on the sliding scale, but I am still successful. If you are anywhere on that scale, you are successful and you have accomplished your goal for that day. And I just thought that is such a good way to goal set because I get so wrapped up in here's my to-do list and I didn't get everything done, so I failed today. That's how I think. And it's just like, it's not true. If we do this sliding scale goal setting, then we are going to be successful and feel good about the exercise we did that day and want to do it again, right? So I loved that part of the book. That was my favorite. So so you got to get creative. So here's some of her creative examples that she's used to get more movement into your life. So the first one is the long cut. I've heard this before. So park at the back of the parking lot and then walk that a little extra bit so that you can get a little bit of extra movement in there. Another one she says is a movement snack. When your stomach is growling and you're hungry for a snack, then stop, move for 5 to 10 minutes, and then come back and eat your snack first. Use the hunger as a cue to move a little more, which I liked. Another one is she called it a boogie break. So just dance to one song. Just say, I'm going to dance to one song and have fun. Who doesn't love dancing to songs in the middle of their living room or whatever with the kids? My kids love to dance, so that's a good one, I thought. This is one that I didn't particularly like, but I thought some people out there might enjoy it, which was get a dog, and then you have to walk it every day, and you don't have a choice, which I thought was kind of funny. Even 1 minute movements. Do 1 minute challenges to move yourself around. 1 minute of jumping jacks. So in my Miracle Morning for Parents and Families book review, I talked about this. In the morning routine, the Savers routine, it talks about 1 minute of exercise. And I did find when I did it consistently that I thought, wow, if I can do this at this time, I don't know, it did something to my brain where I thought I can totally exercise today. And I would be more likely to exercise that day than if I didn't do that 1 minute in the morning. And so it just triggers our brain. I don't know, it does something funny when we even just do 1 minute of exercise. Next time, it says, this is a little tip. It says, next time you feel like not exercising, so every second of the day for me, close your eyes and ask yourself what kind of movement your body feels like. If it's nothing, fine. But whatever it is, if it's yoga, because I love yoga. That's one of my favorite ways to move, I guess. And I would just not do it because I thought, what is the point? I'm not going to be losing weight doing yoga. I'm not going to be, doing anything that really matters doing yoga, but that's not true at all. If I have a clear, mind, I might be more patient with my kids, which will make me have a happier day, which it does so many things that I wasn't putting as priorities or reasons to do these goals. So yeah, think about what your body needs in that moment and then do it. And figure out what kind of exercise you like. Here's the intensity study. So in men, high-intensity workouts have proven to decrease depression and anxiety. So if you're a man out there, you're watching, and you love high-intensity workouts, go for it. And even if you're a woman, if you love high-intensity workouts, then go do it. For women, low-intensity workouts have proven to increase your emotional well-being. So those yoga, the light things, the walking, these are all things that have proven for us women to improve your well-being. So you could also make a game of it, of course. You can suggest making a chart, and each time you do a 5-minute movement or any kind of movement, not 5 minutes, I just keep saying that because it seems like a low number, a 1 minute movement, anything to, give yourself a sticker on the chart or a check or whatever, and do a point system or whatever, and have some kind of reward there. All right, so we're moving on to the next section, which is permission. So we need to start talking about self-care and how to prioritize it. That's what this whole section is about. And it's truly self-care, right? When we're exercising, it's for us, and we just need to put it first. We need to put it before other things. Not first. There's other things that are obviously more important, but it needs to be up there because it's important for us. It says, a helpful reminder and a thing you do have to keep in mind is when you have a newborn, when you have kids, when you, whatever, have things that truly do come first, that you need to recognize that and just accept it and do what you can and do what you can do, and that's all you can do, right? So you need to look at signals in your body of distress that you may already feel. And again, when I was watching this YouTuber's video, she's like, I noticed even when I had the 10 pounds on, the 20 pounds on, when I didn't work out, that I would notice back pain, I would notice neck pain, I would notice feeling lethargic. I would notice all those things, and I would notice not having them when I worked out. And her working out was like walking around the yard or something, right? It wasn't a big high intensity thing. And so you have to think about these things that you're feeling: exhaustion, anxiety, depression, unexplained pain, feeling not engaged or accomplished, feeling resentment or detachment from your own life, a lack of concentration, anger, right? These are things I think are especially important when you have kids, and especially young kids. At a time when it seems the hardest to work out, these are things that you're feeling, and these are reasons why you need to, right? You need to stay moving. And so it's vital to our well-being and health to fulfill our potential and to become aware of the deep-seated and unexamined beliefs that may have been directing our decisions. So you can schedule self-care in like you do exercise. So this is talking about something entirely different. Self-care for you might not be exercise. It might be drawing. It might be whatever. There's a million things it could be. And so you have to figure out what that is for you, what truly gives you that fuel each day to continue on and be the best person you can be. And you need to schedule it in. You need to do it. For me, I really like reading. It makes me feel like I've gained something in the day. And so I make time for that. I make time for reading the scriptures every day, but also just like some regular reading. I'm trying to prioritize that, and fit that in. There are many consequences, of course, to not taking care of yourself. Have you been burnt out, decrease in health, decrease in motivation, depression? You feel like you have no freedom, like your body is taken over you, that you can't do what you want to do. Who hasn't felt that, right? You're fat, you're addicted to food, right? You have no or less productivity. There's so many things that can happen. So obviously exercise is like a fuel, and I've heard that, and I've never felt that, honestly, because when I start to exercise, and I've been doing maybe the wrong things, high intensity weightlifting, whatever, I never feel energized. And even after that month, I did not feel energized. I felt like crap, to be honest. I felt way more tired. I felt way less productive and all those things. And I kept saying to my husband, when does this change? When do I start to feel these feel-good feelings that everybody talks about? I don't feel them. And again, I'm just referring to this video just because it was so good. This woman said, think of it as like, it takes months, first of all. And think of it like, say you don't eat donuts for 10 months of your life, or you exercise and commit to do that for 10 months of your life. It's 10 months of your life, and that's nothing. It's truly nothing. Just tell yourself that you're going to eat a bunch of donuts after you finish that, if you really want to, but you probably won't, because you'll feel so good, right? Which I really want to try and see and implement in my life. But I believe her, just for the record. All right. So if we look at it like a fuel, it's no longer competing with our other activities. We need fuel. We can't function without fuel. So it's not really competing with other things that we need to do anymore. It's just a priority. It's just something that needs to get done. And so research shows that positive emotions broaden our thinking too. It helps us to be more open-minded, which is fantastic. It makes us more creative. These are research things that show that when we exercise, these things will happen. We will be more creative. We will be more inclusive, flexible, open to information, efficient, right? Open to others. So it'll help us in so many ways that we don't even see or think about, I don't think, when we start exercising and have those goals. And I used to have self-care contingent on other things. So I'd say, okay, I can read a book today if I can get this room clean. And half the time it would just never happen. Or if I can get this big list of things to do, then I can take my evening and I can relax and whatever. have a bath, and I would just never get them done, or very rarely. And so my self-care would be contingent on other things, and it just cannot be. It needs to be, like I said, the fuel. It needs to be something we do, that we figure out how to do. And I would listen to people say this before, this kind of thing, and I would think, yeah, like, you obviously don't have little kids running around, because you can't just sit there and, take care of yourself while your kids are doing whatever. But then I realized I need to, first of all, be a little more organized in my life. Like, we're working on more of a structured day, because we're doing a little TV-free challenge for the kids, because it was literally like so much of my day was spent like sticking them in front of the TV so I could get things done, and that's just not working for me. I want to homeschool, I want to teach them, and so I want them to obviously be healthy and have good lives, and to get that consistency so they know what's expected of them. And that has been huge, and by scheduling some kind of self-care in there, I am able to do it and get it done, right? I'm still working on that. Maybe I'll shoot a video on that to let you know how that goes for me, but it is something that needs to just happen. And it also talks about, again, the types of goals we can do. So we can do a performance type goal and a learning type goal. And a learning type goal is always better than a performance type goal. So the performance type goal would be, I'm going to exercise 5 times a week. And the learning goal would be, I'm going to figure out how to stay physically active. The learning goals are always better. And that's like how I try to live my life. That's what this channel is about. I just want to progress and learn. And through doing that, we become better. Okay, it's so true. So learning goals, data shows, with a learning mindset and approach to life, that we are genuinely curious and make discoveries and learn new ways of doing things. And it results in more of an internal motivation and a greater persistence and resilience to face challenges in life. Don't begin with an end in mind. Losing 20 pounds, that's your end, right? But don't begin with an end in mind, it says. Go back to those learning goals. Figure out how to do it and keep it in your life for a lifetime. Figure out what you like and keep doing it. It says tackle one thing at a time. Do not start and go, I'm going to eat no junk food now. I'm going to get rid of it in my house. I'm going to eat only vegetables and meat. I'm going to exercise 5 times a week, and I'm going to set a schedule for my children, and I'm going to blah, 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 blah. Don't. Focus again, right? Focus on one thing. You're going to focus on moving 5 minutes a day. That's what the book suggests in the end is the end goal, not the end goal, just a beginning goal that you set for yourself. Do it 5 minutes a day, and do it consistently. Do it for months before you increase it, so that you can feel successful. Consistency is what's going to motivate us and going to help us. No one was born with all the resilience and coping skills needed to negotiate life, but you can always learn them. And that's why we're here, right, guys? It also talks about when we criticize ourselves, that is an instant demotivator. It instantly demotivates us. I'm so sorry. I was doing the strategy section without even realizing it, guys. So all those things were strategies. So starting with the performance goal and the learning goal, that was the beginning of the strategy section. So those were just ways that you can put into place the strategies to help you be motivated for a lifetime. So that is it. That is all I have for this book. No sweat. That is it. So I think together we should try to do 5 minutes a day. Let's start now, and that's all we're going to do. Okay. It's not all we're going to do, I know that, but you know what I mean? That's going to be our exercise goals. If you're doing more than that and you're doing, good on you. I'm not. If you're nowhere, if you're at 0 like I am, then this is something we can do together. I think it's it is a good read. I mean, I'm going to be honest, I struggled a little to get through it. And it's definitely a beginner basic kind of thing. Like I said, if you have any routine going, then this book probably is not for you. But for me, it was such a help. And like I said, to change that mindset, to feel successful, I think those are all the most important things that will help us to build this exercise routine for a lifetime. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I really, really appreciate every time you watch, and give me a comment below. I really love reading your comments. I get so excited when I see someone has commented on my video and we can chat, because that's how I learn best, is from interacting with people and talking to them. That's how I seem to retain information best. And also, it's motivating to have a community of people that are working towards being better like you are, right? Especially when it comes to the same things. So if you're out there and you're trying to get better at exercising, get better at moving, be healthier, then please stick around. Consider subscribing, and we can interact together. And I can share with you what I learned, and maybe you can share with me what you learn in the comments. I would love that. Yeah, so thanks again for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day.